sensitive. I'm setting my phone down. I'm so jealous of Kylie. She sent this picture. It's 82 and sunny. Home.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
little stinker. I'm like, Kylie, it's 82 and sunny down there. I'm like, zip it, Skippy.
Right?
There you go.
No, it wasn't.
No, not down there. You're right there.
Good evening, everyone. I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Roll call, Lori.
Amanda Allen.
Here.
Julia Ah.
Here.
Linda Baker.
Here.
Nicole Hoover.
Here.
Ross Daniels. Aaron Noah.
Here.
Melissa Patch.
Here. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any comments or questions on the agenda for tonight? There being none, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
For roll call?
Amanda Allen.
Here.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry. Julia Ah.
Yes.
Linda Baker.
Yes.
Nicole Hoover.
Yes.
Ross Daniels. Melissa Patch.
Yes.
Aaron Noah.
Yes, agenda is approved. Up first, call for public comment. And tonight, all right, moving right into our discussions and presentations. Up first, Dave Soderquist is going to talk about a Hoppin Elementary out-of-state field trip request.
Hello, so this is for our kindergarten classes that are looking to go to Bendix Woods County Park in New Carlisle. There they will be participating in a sugar maple demonstration. They'll be able to tap trees. They'll have some different activities that'll go along with harvesting maple trees. They'll be able to see how the sap is cooked down to create syrup out of the steps. It's a program that we did last year. Great interaction with the farm and the students. They offer up some grants that we've applied for, which basically takes down the cost to $1.50 a student, and they'll reimburse our transportation in that as well. So it makes it extremely affordable. The most exciting part for me is they will come back with syrup and we'll have a pancake breakfast together. So you know, it's something that connects with the plants and knowledge unit that they've been working through. So it's a really well-done program.
And the breakfast is going to be when?
We have not planned that yet, but I will get that information out. Yes.
All right, very good.
I think I will be actually cooking this time around. So.
It sounds like a sweet deal.
Yes. All right, any questions on that? All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
up next, Jason Bingaman Middle School out-of-state field trip request.
I'm here once again to request for our out-of-state field trip to go to Cedar, our 8th graders to go to Cedar Point. It's part of our PBIS initiative to provide kind of a reward for students that meet certain criteria that has to do with discipline, grades, and attendance. As you can see on the sheet right there, everything is very similar to what we've done in previous years. We're going on May 29th. The kids will be gone from about 6:30 in the morning until 11:30 at night. We'll go there as chaperones. They'll have a good time over there, and then we will head back. There is a fundraising opportunity for students to participate in. All the rules and regulations will be sent home to kids once we have our kind of our kickoff meeting that will be going on this week. So, any questions?
Just that, I know from last year, we had some correspondence like this, you've let everybody know the expectations and...
Yeah, I think some of that came from, there were some things that were not the same between the 8th grade and the 6th and 7th grade. So that's all been clarified, and part of their parent approval will be a simple statement saying that they understand how reimbursements work
Okay.
this time.
Yeah, just to protect you and
Yep.
support you, I just know that was a little bit of a issue last year.
Yeah, and that had to do with the difference between money that families pay and the money that they fundraise in terms of where it goes. So we've got that. It is clarified on the other sheets, but there just wasn't anything to a signature required stating that they understood that. So we're just doing that.
Yeah,
That's
just
it.
over communication, much better. Okay, thank you.
Good?
Yep.
Thanks. And last thing, General Bear is the one that is organizing the trip. She's a 8th grade math teacher, and she's the one that's the go-to for this and organizing it. So just want to put that out there.
Perfect, thank you. All right, and up next, the high school band and choir trip to Florida. Cheryl's not here.
Glenn is here and
Oh, Glenn,
Grace is here.
perfect.
We won't be too long.
Good evening. My name is Glenn Falk. I'm the assistant band director at the middle and high school. So we're discussing the Disney trip that is meant to work in 2026, much the way it has in the past. So we're looking at doing this beginning March 26th. That would be a Thursday, leaving after school, returning on April 3rd. So stay within spring break. The plan is for travel to happen straight through without a stop on the way to Disney. We've got several days within the park with 2 performances for band and 2 performances for choir scheduled throughout the trip, with, of course, a lot of free time for students to explore in groups throughout various parts of the park. We, of course, are doing lots of fundraising already that students will have access to for support in paying for the trip. If you're looking at the information that we've provided on this, we are looking at doing the quint occupancy at the lowest rate there. And then also to consider in the price, there are several dining cards and cashback opportunities for students that I just wanted to point out. It's more fair to think of as those are prepaid through the trip, the cost of the trip. So those are not additional costs for parents. That really sort of comes out of the cost of the trip. Any questions that I can answer?
No, I think we're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you. All right, and then Mandy with our 2024-25 budget amendment.
Hi. If you want to pull up the budget document on your Google Drive, and I'll walk through that with you. We don't have a big screen up here today. So the budget is looking really good. We're close for this year, as we anticipated we would be. The numbers have changed significantly. In total, they have not changed significantly. So I'm going to walk you through the document so that it makes sense, hopefully. Starting with the revenue, the first column you'll see is the initial budget. That is the budget that Nikki developed with Nancy Swanson and Plate Marine in May, I believe. And it was adopted June 30th. And then the budget revision number 1, those are the changes that I am proposing to you this evening. The local sources, you'll see that number is staying pretty much the exact same. State sources is increasing by approximately $500,000. That is deferred revenue that we received at the very end of last fiscal year for the buses, the electric buses that we talked about earlier in the year. So that's in the budget, and we'll see that later in the expenses as well. Federal also increased by a little bit. Very typical to see that. All of our final allocations are in. They are not reflected in this budget. with title, but they will be in the next one that you see. So for a total revenue of $32,773,821. Now looking at the expenses, you'll see this is where you're going to see some changes. The instruction to basic programs went from $15,052,058 to $13,729,883. That is due to a change in how the state decided to allocate the money this year in reference to something called UAAL, cost offset. So what they do is, I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. In one of the line items that we have in our state budget, they give us money for retirement, and then they take that exact same money back from us, and they changed the amount and did some swapping and swapping with a few other categories and gave it to us in a different way. So in the expenses in the original budget, you expense that retirement money to each salaried category, and they lowered the amount by over $1 million. So that's where you're seeing the difference in almost all of these categories. That is not reflected. We did not lose anybody. We did not change anybody's income. We did not change anybody's salary or benefits. It's strictly related to an in and out based on the state aid. In the next column down, you'll see a pretty big shift in that one. That's very typical for this time of year. The added needs are things that are almost always 100% covered by grant monies. So as the grants get set in place for this year, you develop expenses that match your revenue. That's basic grant accounting. So that's why that one has changed. The other two, no significant change. I'm losing my tracking here. Instructional staff, you'll notice that one changed quite a bit. It went down. That's also related to that retirement funding. Along with the one below it, the general administration, you pull that retirement funding on administrative costs as well. And there's a little bit of title auditing in that one also. As you know, our title funds are audited every time we do a draw. And my draw habits are a little bit different than my predecessors. So I like to draw money every quarter, which means that audit expense goes up because they audit it every quarter rather than once a year. So we had to add a little bit to that line item. The next one down, school administration, again, that's related to the UAAL retirement funding. Business services, has changed a little bit. We've had a change in a staff member. Our previous staff member took a different level of health insurance, and our current staff member has a little bit more health insurance benefit than the previous one. So there's a little bit of an increase there. Operations and maintenance, that one went up significantly. That is due to our 31 AA revenue funding and safety upgrades that we're using that money for. So that's just where that money fell at. Transportation, again, you'll see about a $500,000 difference in that line item. That is those 2 new buses that you allowed us to purchase. That's where that grant money is at. Central services, that is going to be your technology, and we had some grant-related technology expenditures, again, to match the revenue of the grants. Athletics, that change is due to the retirement funding. It's just a couple $1,000s on that one, no significant change. Same thing with community services. That's going to be your parent involvement money, and when you go through the title grant, you sometimes have little differences in parent involvement depending on what the costs are going to be for those activities that we provide at the elementary schools. So your final expenditures that I'm proposing to you this evening are $32,686,307. And you'll notice that we are revenue above expenditures. That's a good thing. That means there's money left over. Not a lot. It's under $100,000, which we anticipated it to be close, but we are balanced and above water. Any questions?
I think so. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, wow.
It's some work, but we're getting there.
We're getting there. That's awesome.
Mandy has been amazing addition, and
Yes.
I'm feeling much better having it in-house after some things that were needed prior to, but we're going in a very good direction.
Good. I really appreciate the cleanness and the simplicity of the reports, too. I really feel like nothing's being put in somewhere where we're not going to be able to catch it or look at it. So I really appreciate the reports that you're producing, too. So, yeah.
And I want you to know that there's always line item detail support for everything.
Yeah.
I don't resent that because we don't.
We appreciate that as well.
I do always have that backup, and if you're interested or you have some questions about stuff, I can support that.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. The transparency is key because putting it up front makes it a lot better than on the back end, so appreciate it.
One suggestion, could we get the general fund as a percentage?
I was calculating it up at, but on the next one, we'll add it, but we're at about 14.6.
Yeah.
Is that what you got?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I would just
Yes.
be,
Yep.
just. since
We're
it's
used to it
always
being,
worried about
yeah,
it,
yeah, and that's, after I looked at it, we are used to seeing it as a percent, not as a dollar total, so we'll add that to the next one. Just the percent at the bottom, where we have it, fund balance, fiscal year, we have a dollar amount, add a line that says the percent.
Yep, I can do that, and I can figure that percent out for you.
Yeah, Julie and I just did, we're about 14.6.
Okay, perfect. I'll be sure to get that on there for you.
Much better than we were 2 years ago, Cindy.
Don't have the state knocking anymore. That's great. All right, good. Moving on to our action items. Up first, the 2024-25 budget amendment. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the 2024-25 budget amendment as presented. Are there comments or questions on the amendment? Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Support.
Roll call?
Julia Ah.
Yes.
Linda Baker.
Yes.
Nicole Cover.
Yes.
Ross Daniels. Melissa Patch.
Yes.
Amanda Allen.
Yes.
Aaron Noack.
Yes, motion passes 6-0. Next, Hoppin Elementary out-of-state field trip. It is recommended that the board approve the Hoppin kindergarten trip to Bendix Wood County Park in Indiana as presented. Other comments or questions? Motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Julia can make the motion, I'll second.
Linda.
Linda made it.
Linda
Oh,
made it.
sorry.
Okay. Linda Baker.
Yes.
Nicole Cover.
Yes.
Ross Daniels. Melissa Patch.
Yes.
Amanda Allen.
Yes.
Julia Ah.
Yes.
Aaron Noack.
Yes, motion passes 6-0. The middle school out-of-state field trip. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the middle school trip to Cedar Point Amusement Park in Sandusky, Ohio as presented. Comments or questions on that one? Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Nicole Cover.
Yes.
Ross Daniels. Melissa Patch.
Yes.
Amanda Allen.
Yes.
Julia Ah.
Yes.
Linda Baker.
Yes.
Aaron Noack.
Yes, motion passes 6-0. And the 2026 Three Rivers High School Band and Choir trip to Florida. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the 2026 Band and Choir trip to Florida as presented. Are there comments or questions? Motion to approve?
Second. Oh. So moved. Jeez, oh, Pete.
It's Monday.
I'll second.
Ross Daniels. Melissa Patch.
Yes.
Amanda Allen.
Yes.
Julia Ah.
Yes.
Linda Baker.
Yes.
Nicole Cover.
Yes.
Aaron Noack.
Yes, motion passes 6-0. And lastly, the superintendent contract amendment. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the superintendent contract amendment as presented. Were there comments or questions?
Just to come, that was just changing language, right?
Yes. Yep. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Melissa Patch.
Yes.
Amanda Allen.
Yes.
Julia Ah.
Yes.
Linda Baker.
Yes.
Nicole Cover.
Yes.
Ross Daniels. Aaron Noack.
Yes, motion passes 6-0. For the board calendar for this month, February 4th, which is tomorrow, is the St. Joe County School Board Association program at Colon Community Schools. If you haven't already gotten with Lori, is anyone going from?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, perfect. Good. So that is tomorrow. February 7th and the 10th will be our 2025 midwinter break. February 12th is pupil count day. February 15th is what's our fundraiser for?
It's project graduation.
Project graduation, thank you. Cupid's Carnival at the Three Rivers High School gym. February 17th is staff professional development, no school for students. And that evening on the 17th will be our next Board of Education regular meeting. Anything I'm missing on the calendar? All right, any board member comment for tonight?
I just wanted to clarify the Cupid's Carnival. So it is a project graduation fundraiser. I'm a parent volunteer. I've done it the last 2 years, so I'm ready to be fired. Kidding. But it is going to combine the mother, son, father, daughter. So there is questions about that, but we are a limited volunteer effort. And so we have moved it to the high school, and we've created the opportunity to still have it be formal, semi-formal. There'll be games, what we have done routinely at the mother-son, but then there'll be some more formality, Taylor Swift friendship bracelet making and things like that for the father-daughter with the photographer on site that will be doing photos that night, and they will go home with all of the elementary students. So we think we've combined everything to make it a really nice event. We had problems in the past with mom wasn't around, or, who do I bring? And so we just want to be all-inclusive, and we think it's a great way to do that and just have it be one evening. It's just $10 at the door. If you do Venmo, it's $11. There's no tickets. It's just going to be electronic or at the door. Again, we are limited on volunteers. So if there's any complaints, we do not have a complaint division, but I just wanted to make sure that we clarified kind of what it was and what we're doing, and that we're really willing and able to take feedback, of course, at all times. Thank you.
Any other board member comment? Okay. Next, I need a motion to go into closed session as permitted under Section 8C of the Open Meetings Act for the purpose of strategy and negotiation sessions connected with a collective bargaining agreement.
Second.
Roll call?
Amanda Allen,
Yes.
Julia Ah.
Yes.
Linda Baker,
Yes.
Nicole Cooper.
Yes.